Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Activities for People Living at Home with Dementia. My name is Martha Brown, and I am your volunteer with Dementia Friendly Fort Worth. We are proud to offer this series with funding from the Area Agency on Aging and the United Way of Tarrant County. These programs are recorded and are made available for viewing through a YouTube channel for future use. I am your host for today's activities. Our topic today is brought to you by Peggy Spear with the Amon Carter Museum of American Art. Peggy tells us she's going to show us some art about birthdays, and I can't wait to see what she has in mind. Take it away, Peggy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Martha, for your introduction. Let me get your screen share going.
Do I need to give you?
No, you're good.
You good? Okay.
Yeah, you should be. Hopefully, y'all are seeing it now. No?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Every week, it's a new technical difficulty with you guys. So let's hold on to our hats and see what it is this week.
Ooh.
All right,
We'll get it all
we're
figured
doing
out.
birthdays. And I thought for sure this would be like shooting fish in a barrel, finding things of birthday celebrations and cake and that kind of stuff in our collection. This was really hard. So some of these things that we're seeing are a little bit of a reach, but we can kind of couch them in. If we're thinking in broadly in our birthday brains, then maybe we can see how it fits in. This year is Amon Carter's 60th birthday. So we have on our website, and you might see billboards around town, things that are acknowledging or celebrating our 60th anniversary. So in the vein of celebration at the Carter, we're going to do birthdays. So this was actually one of the only birthday, if not the only birthday image we had in our collection. What do we see?
Cake, candles.
Cake and candles.
Looks like a waiter in a restaurant holding
Right
a
here?
cake. Yeah.
Yeah. They come out all singing and clapping, cheering you on.
It's kind
Okay.
of like going to Red Lobster or someplace
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Exactly. All right, so we see a man holding a birthday cake with candles. What else?
It's a lodge looking
Fire?
place.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. We're inside in what kind of looks like a dining hall lodge.
Lots of people.
They're
Lots
dressed
of people.
Kind of looks a little bit more formal than just a regular restaurant with
Mhm.
even though it's a lodge.
What makes you say it's a little more?
Well, of
formal
course,
than
I have to think about it. It's the time frame in 1933. Everybody's dressed up.
True. Yes.
They wear ties. The guys wear ties. The ladies wear dresses. You know.
So okay, so you notice that the date at the bottom. Do you notice the title? Does that give you any clue as to where this dining might be?
New Mexico.
School of Interior, Los Alamos.
Yes, it's New Mexico. Martha.
Whoa. Yeah. That's where they were doing the nuclear experiments. Yes.
Yes, this ended up being where the Manhattan Project started.
Right. Yeah.
But before it became the Manhattan Project, where they were developing the atomic bomb, this was an all-boys school. So the school opened in 1917, and it shut down in 1943 was the last, in January of 1943 is when they handed out the last diploma, and then the Army came in and took it over, and then that became where they were developing the atomic bomb, the first atomic bomb. So
Wow.
Because the farmer found three additional meats.
is someone saying, I'm sorry, I can't hear you if you want to.
Oh,
No?
let me put.
What is the white blurb? What is the white blurb thingy in the middle?
Right here
Out to the back.
Oh,
or right here?
right
Fireplace.
there. Yeah.
The
Fireplace.
fireplace.
Oh.
So they're
And-
inside. This is one of the areas of the school. And you can, it says Los Alamos, which is, yes, New Mexico, but you can see some of the traditional decor of a New Mexico house or, establishment. They've got the Indian corn, they've got the dried peppers, an eye dazzler, one of the fabric, the hand woven tactile, or what is it?
Is this a
Tactile?
house or a church?
This is a school.
A school.
So it's this is the dining hall for this particular all-boys school. And you can see, it looks like on this side is all of the
Parents,
teaching staff.
or yeah, it could be.
And
Yeah.
then over here, it looks like it's all of the students.
And it
and then-
looks like several of the boys, particularly in the front here, look like they have scarves, like a Boy Scout type of scarf.
They do. This is part of their uniform. And this school, when it was created in 1917, was modeled after Boy Scouts.
Okay.
So
Ooh.
that uniform kind of mimics that Boy Scout uniform. All teenage boys we're seeing here. We're assuming it's this boy's birthday, just because the cake is stopped right in front of him.
Should we sing?
Say that again.
Should we sing?
I'll only sing for cake, and I don't think we're getting cake right now. So
No,
Cake, no sing. Okay, I get it.
darn. But we're getting cookies next week.
say that again.
But we're getting cookies next week.
Oh, do you have a cookie session lined up?
Uh-huh.
Ooh,
Yum, yum.
Good, good.
thank you for that one, yeah.
So did anybody have a birthday during the school year, or were you like one of the sad kids that had it in July, June, August, where no one got to celebrate your birthday in class? Who were the in-class birthday celebrators? Me. Or were there a lot of summer birthdays?
I had birthday in February, but I don't think I ever remember celebrating in class.
No.
No.
Does anyone else remember celebrating in school?
I don't.
No. Then I must have been in that sweet spot where we were, you bring in cupcakes. We were allowed to bring in cupcakes for your class. Your mom would bring it in, or cupcakes, or whatever. And then now I have a son in school, and because of all the different allergies, you can't bring anything in to celebrate.
Yeah, when my girls were little, we did that.
Mm-hmm.
Brought in cupcakes for them. Of course, really now you can't even bring in anything you've homemade. You almost have to buy it from the store.
Yeah, and allergies too kind of preclude
Right,
things
yeah.
like that. So, but I remember there were kids one of my best friends had an August birthday. And so there was each month right after school started, they got to pick a day they wanted to celebrate their birthday. So they got their 15 minutes of fame. But we were never allowed to light candles. I'll tell you that.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Light candles.
We didn't realize how good we had it, did we?
Can't light the candle, you can't blow it out. That's the fun part, though.
Yeah, David.
More wishes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I thought this was, this is not necessarily an artistic picture, but Gilpin, we've looked at photographs of hers before. She lived in Colorado, but had developed rapport with the Navajo in New Mexico and traveled down to New Mexico quite a bit to photograph different stations, different organizations. And so this picture was taken in 1933, but Amon Carter has all of her archives. And so she did go back to this school, and photographed the interiors and the staff and the students multiple times before the school shut down. So, and some of her photographs too have helped the kind of museum shops or whatever in that area, because of course the school is very famous for being the site where the Manhattan Project was. But her photographs of the school before it turned over to the government has helped the economy as well. All right, so we're moving from an actual birthday scene to now you guys got to stay with me because it's going to get the connections are getting weaker.
Okay.
We've got balloons.
Yay.
Okay, so that's the connection. Nothing to do with birthdays, but we've got balloons.
It's something my girls would have done.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so tell me what you see here.
Actually, they did it without balloons, with balls.
Yeah, basketballs or dodgeball.
Yeah.
So we see two little girls. What else do we see? We see that they're stuffing their shirt with a balloon. What else do we see?
It's autumn.
Yeah, it seems the seasons are changing. Where do you think this is?
It's a residential area.
Exactly, it's a residential area.
Looks like Texas.
You know, I can see what you're saying. Yeah, some of those suburban neighborhoods.
Actually, Illinois, according to the picture.
Oh,
Yes,
Oh,
it is in
yeah.
Illinois.
Leaves.
Mhm.
I haven't gotten that far yet.
But I think you're speaking to something, Martha. You could almost see any kind of city or any, neighborhood community, whether it's Texas or Illinois. There's a relatableness with that type of residential neighborhoody vibe.
I wonder if their mother isn't pregnant.
Yeah, are they pretending to be pregnant?
They're trying to pretend to be just like mom.
Trying to pretend. So the photographer's name is Melissa Ann Pinney, and her daughter Emma, she photographed a lot. I'm not 100% sure this is her daughter Emma, and that's the
Okay.
only child she had. So her mom is not pregnant. The photographer isn't pregnant, I don't believe. But I mean, what I remember doing this with my sister, it's just something funny. And at that age, I'm sure there are friends' parents who were having babies and things like that. So she was probably aware.
Mhm.
But this photographer, and she's still living. She was born in 1953. She's still photographing. She was really interested and continues to be very interested in photographing everyday lives of girls and women, and that kind of the social constructs of what makes a girl into a female, or an adult woman, and how those childlike ideas stay with you as a woman, and how that plays out in social construct. I know that sounds very lofty words, but there's little girls here. On this one on the left is on the cusp of adolescence and is stuffing a balloon in her shirt, pretending to be pregnant, but she's not thinking about anything surrounding a pregnancy,
Mhm.
anything, what that means to be pregnant, how you get pregnant. It's an innocent childness.
She's just playing.
Yeah, it just feels like she's playing. But as an adult woman, you're able to kind of see this. She's still a child, but she really is on the cusp of understanding what it means to become a woman. So a lot of her photographs deal with those types of ideas. Girls in two pieces as a child, but maybe on the cusp of being a young woman. So, kind of this idea of what it means to be feminine. The child and the woman is also the woman and the child, and how does that separate itself, if it does or doesn't. And so she grew up Catholic. She was one of, I think, 6 kids, and she had 5 brothers. So her dad was really favored the boys, from what I can understand. And she was determined to make a name for women, or to understand that she's a feminist, and understanding what a powerfulness it meant to be a woman. And even as a child, a little girl, you still possess that power of a female. And so she, as a young girl, was really interested in Catholic iconography. So things like Blessed Virgin Mary, saints. She was really interested in reading the lives of saints that had a lot of impact on her, and what it meant to be a strong woman. So you would never know that Catholic iconography really impacted what her vision of female meant. But here's just a fun, I think it's just a fun picture.
It is.
Well, they look like they're having fun.
Yeah. And if you have a sister, or if you have daughters or nieces, you've probably seen a scenario like this play out.
Yeah. It's all the pretend world.
Yeah, total pretend world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's only, as older, like we said, we're able to kind of play out the implications of what it means to be pregnant. But there, it's just play. And this photographer would take a lot of pictures in her neighborhood at family gatherings. So there was an everyday relatability to her pictures that you could see as a female, or someone who has children or a wife, you could see the relatability to it. So this is a fun one. Again, loose connection to birthdays, but balloons. The
Yeah.
next one, this is straight up birthday, but we have almost no information about this particular artwork.
Wow.
So what do we see?
A lot of kids.
A lot of kids.
You think they're all, is that one family?
We don't know.
Okay.
My
There's a-
guess would be no.
Yeah, I'm doing too.
There's too many kids close in age that I couldn't imagine 4 kids coming at once. I mean, crazier things happen, but
Maybe cousins.
cousins, yeah, I'm sure they're related. Do they seem happy, or do they seem pretty serious?
Kind of serious.
Of course, you have to remember that many pictures like this were staged, and they told them not to smile.
Yeah.
But you can also tell who is who has siblings, because they tend to be dressed alike.
Yeah.
Okay, so who do you think are siblings, Yetta?
I think the one boy in the back row next to the bigger, I don't know if that's the mother in that seaman, and then the little one in the front that has sort of like a seaman or sailor.
Oh, okay,
And then-
yeah. Oh, that's fun, yeah. And then we've got this little, I mean, it's a little different, but that type of sailor collar.
Yeah.
And I think as someone who has only 2 children, getting that many kids to be looking at the camera at the same time, I mean, this is like a feat to have. I mean, I know they're not smiling, but all of their eyes are open. All of them are looking at the camera. I mean, can you think of any family pictures you have of a cousin's birthday, a sibling's birthday, that kind of look like this?
No.
No? Wait, can you even tell who the birthday kid is?
No.
I think it might be the little girl with her hand on the table, but
Right here.
And the bow in her hair.
Yes, she does have a bow in her hair.
Oh yeah, she's the only one with the bow, so maybe she was the most dressed up for that day.
And it was a very clean dress.
Yes.
the cake doesn't have any candles on it.
Looks
Yeah,
like
that would have been a clue to birthday, how many candles. We could have guessed if it's a 10-year-old or a 3-year-old, it would have helped us.
It's maybe poor people that couldn't afford candles.
Maybe not.
Exactly.
It's not.
I don't know. We don't know. I don't know anything about the people in this photograph, so it's all kind of speculation. But they all seem to be dressed relatively nicely. I mean, not every kid has shoes on, but kids don't always keep their shoes on. And some of them have really nice looking Mary Janes, or these dresses with collars. Yeah. Everything looks clean. I mean, again, it's a black and white image, but things look pretty fresh. They don't look tattered or ripped.
Looks like Sunday.
Oh, go ahead, Martha.
Go ahead, Martha.
I just said it looks like a Sunday.
A Sunday, yeah.
That's possible. Yeah, it could be. Yeah. And actually, I think. Go ahead.
Go ahead,
I remember when I was born in 52, and when we were going to birthday parties in the end of the 50s and early 60s, we would always dress up. We would always take our best dress on, and white socks and nice shoes and so on.
Even the boys had to dress up.
Yeah, well, we never had boys at our birthday parties.
I remember, but yeah.
Yeah.
The boys had to dress up too for a birthday party.
Yeah.
Just like going to church.
You
had to dress up. Yeah.
Well, back in the 50s, it was a badge of, look how clean and well off we are, even though a lot of us weren't.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
think all of them in the picture are children. The one on the right, I think, is the oldest of all of them. And it could be like she was the firstborn, and then as it went through the family, she was the one basically that took care of a lot of. She was probably there to take care of a lot of them.
Mhm.
Yeah, that could be really true. And it is, you're right, it is all children, although, again, when a title is in the parentheses or the bracket like that, it often is an assigned title. It was not what the artist, and we don't know who the artist is, the title it, but everybody is identified as a child. So I think you're right that it's all children, some older children, but all children nonetheless.
And the oldest one has the prettiest face. She has a smile on her face. She's happy to be there.
Uh-huh. I know, look at this sad mug right here.
Yeah, he's not happy.
Somebody told him to hold on and stay still.
Yeah,
My guess is look, he's probably out having a time playing, no shoes on. His little John is about to fall off. He's probably like, I don't want to stop playing.
Uh-huh.
But this, I don't think I said, but we don't know really anything about this group, but this was taken in Kansas. So this is a family or a community in Kansas that posed for this photograph.
Oh, wow. Interesting that the house is so far off the ground. So don't you know they had a cellar?
Huh, okay.
Like,
well, not necessarily, because some of the houses were off the ground and they just an open space underneath it because they were on piers.
yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm not sure what this, you might see the number marking at the top of the image. My hunch is that that was an accession number when it belonged to a different collection at one point. That is not the accession number or the number we give it in our catalog. So I'm not 100% sure what that number is, if you were wondering.
I
Oh, go ahead.
did wonder.
Yeah, I don't know. Then there was nothing in the catalog notes that explained what that number is. So to me, it was probably just someone else keeping track of this image in their own system.
I want to look at the piece of furniture that they're holding on to.
That's pretty.
It's gorgeous. It doesn't quite look like a chair, but it doesn't quite look like a table either. Could that have been?
So I think it's a stool that might go with a vanity or something like that. It's a low back. You can see under the napkin, there is a cushion. So it wasn't meant to be a table, but to what it actually belongs to, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably the only piece of furniture that was low enough where they could get all the kids in it with the cake in front of it.
That's a good point.
And this is like a pandemic celebration. Everybody's outside, no one's inside.
Because with a regular chair, the back would see so high you would see all of the kids.
Yeah, and it's easy enough to carry out of the house.
Yeah.
Exactly. Lightweight enough.
Peggy, thank you. I've got to run. I've got another call.
All right, I'll see you next week.
Thank you again. This was wonderful. The rest of you folks, I will see you tomorrow.
Jeopardy tomorrow.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, we've got one more photograph. And again, who knows if it's a birthday, but it's a portrait of Susan Bailey with presents. So what's a birthday without some presents? What do we see here?
She's in the park.
In the park?
A house in the background, so it could be the woods.
Oh yeah, uh-huh.
Opening a birthday present.
Birthday present, yeah.
It doesn't.
Such restraint for a child. It seems she's being so delicate the way her fingers are very gentle on the package.
Mm-hmm.
About how old do you think this little girl is?
3 or 4?
Yeah, I would think around there. So we've seen pictures before from Corcoran. you can think back to Christmas when we did our Christmas talk. It was the little kids in front of the Christmas tree. This is the same little girl, and we don't know how Susan Bailey and Corcoran, what that connection is, but Corcoran, the photographer, had taken several pictures of her. So I asked the curator, and he said he thinks that she was either a neighbor or a close friend of the family, but she did not have any children, so it's not her own child.
Hmm.
And so Corcoran, she taught in Texas at Texas Women's College for a while. But she was really known for her photographs that played with light. So these pictures of kind of these candid pictures of her in really intimate moments were mostly for her. She was not making these for her artistic practice typically. She was very interested in light. So can you see some effects of light in this particular photograph?
It washes out her hair.
Yeah. So where can you tell where the light source is coming from?
Looks to me over the child's right shoulder.
Right here, yeah.
Or is it from the front of the right? What do
It's
you
probably, like you said, up on this side, because you can see it hitting her. There's shadows behind her, her hands in the dark. So she was very interested in, and she photographed in black and white gelatin silver print, and she was really interested in how lighting could change the total mood of a photograph. But usually with not people as the subject. Eggs. She was very interested in eggs.
Eggs? Like food eggs?
Mhm.
Huh. You may have to do a session on Corcoran.
Yeah, we have her archives here at the museum. So we've got all sorts of fun pictures and correspondence and things like that from her lifetime. Any thoughts about this particular one? It's not exciting, but maybe it looks similar to photographs you might have in your collection of family and children opening their gifts. All right, well, those were literally the 4 photographs or images I could find from our collection that dealt with birthdays in any realm of a birthday word. So next week, we're back with St. Patrick's Day, which is already proving to be very difficult finding images in our collection.
Oh my goodness.
But as is life, I thought for sure we would have stuff from Hoboken, the big St. Patrick's Day in Hoboken with all the New York photographers we have, but alas, we do not. So we'll get creative. All right, friends, be good this week.
I'm sorry?
I said be good this week, and I'll see y'all next week.
Oh, Peggy, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to see you.
I look forward to seeing all of you. Bye, guys. Talk soon.
Bye-bye.
Went by quick, didn't it, Martha?
Yeah, it sure did. She evidently has something else to do. Oh, Nancy. Nancy went too. She always goes when somebody else goes. I guess that's habit. We have cafe, 5th Street Cafe, supposedly at 11:15. But since our artist is gone, let me go ahead and do our closing slide, and then I'll turn off the recording and we can chat. Okay, tomorrow we are going to have Jeopardy, and we will have 2 games of Jeopardy that I've chosen from the hundreds of thousands in the Jeopardy labs. What do you call it?
Archives.
Archives, thank you. It's online, and you can go to Jeopardy Labs and look all day long at Jeopardy games that people have made.
Mm.
And I found a couple that I think are going to be fun. And I will be your host tomorrow.